Namaste, everyone. It's Tuesday towards the end of March, 9 a.m. Eastern Central Standard Time, and we are so ready to practice today. We're going to focus more on core and balance, and then take some of those standing stuff down to the floor. So I'm going to mute everyone. Everyone should be muted. If you have any issues, you can chat with Sam in the chat box. So let's find ourselves coming to mountain pose. And you can choose to be standing with your feet together, or you can choose to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Whatever option feels most stable for you right now. And just let the arms relax somewhere alongside the body. Feel that connection of the feet grounding down to the floor, to the carpet, to your mat. If it feels comfortable, go ahead and close the eyes. And just begin to draw the awareness to all four limbs of the body. Just drawing and sliding your awareness down the left side until you greet the left foot, sliding your awareness to the right foot, and then drawing the awareness up to the right side of the shoulder and the head. And as you continue to feel that breath moving and flowing, just settle the awareness now to the crown of your head. Noticing how the head just naturally rests and almost floats at that base where it greets the shoulders down the neck. And then continuing to draw the awareness from the base of your neck down the spine between the shoulder blades, moving a little lower down to where that low back curve begins. And then settling down to the tailbone. So let's change our breath to what we call belly breathing. If you choose to, placing one or both hands resting right about at the belly button. And as we're breathing in, feel how the belly moves forward into the hands. And as we exhale, feel how the abdominals contract, just slightly moving the navel center away from the center of the palms. So we'll take 3 deep belly breaths here. And as you continue with that deep breath, with that core contraction, see if you can relax your low back a little bit more or lessen any tightness in your glutes and in the hips. And with our next exhale, we're going to hold the abdominals engaged, taking both arms, sweeping them up above the head. And so now continuing with that deep belly breath, feeling all 4 limbs stretching away from the center of the body. Continue to allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Feeling engaged through all 4 corners of the feet. Let's take one more deep breath here. And as we exhale, let the arms come down and then just let your feet separate just a little bit more. We're going to start with a really gentle, simple flow with chair back to extended mountain. So the feet are wider just so that we get a little different sensation to the hips. So we'll take the arms upward again, take a deep breath in. Let the arms come halfway down, bend the elbows, just take a little squat. And then we'll flow back upward again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, flowing into the squat. We're moving now with our breath, so feel free to move at any pace that is more natural for you. Noticing what you're feeling from the hip joint to the knees, even down into the ankles, the heels. Let's take 2 more little flowing breaths here. And then as we come into that squat, let's place the hands down to the top of the thighs. We're gonna lean forward a little bit so that we're in a nice straight spine. The hips are pushing back. We'll take a standing cow, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, look towards the belly or look towards the knees. Push the tailbone back, draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale, look forward. And we'll flow again with the breath. Exhale, gentle standing cat. Inhale, lengthening the spine, opening the chest, moving with the flow of the breath. Let's take 2 more little flows here, noticing what we're feeling in the low back right now. 1 more breath. And we're gonna come into our standing cat. So let's take a really strong tucked position. Exhaling again, hugging that belly in, a little firmer. Keep the belly strong as we inhale, sweep the arms back upward. Exhale, let the arms come back down to the side. This time, walk your feet all the way together. Now we're gonna add a little balance movement to our chair flow. Let's actually start just seeing where that balance is today. Arms can come on back up. Lift the heels up. Just take a little weight into the toes. Lower the heels down, sit into chair, pull the elbows down. So that will be our flow again. Inhale, get the full length of the body first, then lift the heels up. Lower the heels down, complete that motion right into chair. We'll take 5 more flows, moving with your own breath. So be mindful of how much effort you give when you're lifting those heels. Too much effort will push you forward and you'll come out of that gentle balance. Slow flow, slow and controlled. 1 more little flow. Inhale, reach, heels up, heels down. Sit into chair, hold chair, stretch the arms straight out in front of you. Come into your balance chair. Hug the knees into each other. Feel how there is equal weight spread across from the big toe to the pinky toe. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Lower the heels. Let's come back to our basic mountain pose. If you like, you can separate the feet apart again. And let's do a little opening for the side of the body. Reach the right arm up. Let that left arm slide all the way down the leg, either looking up, forward, or down. Exhale, switch. Float the right arm down, lengthening that left arm up and over. Exhale, switch. So now each time that we exhale, we take the guided motion, taking the opposite arm up. Do be mindful if one side can reach further than the other. I'm going to encourage you today to not go as deep to that side that you already know is flexible. Give a little bit more space for the side that needs that range of motion. 2 more little flows. Lengthen up. Exhale, switch. Lengthen up. Exhale, switch. Last time each side. Now both arms will come on up overhead. Exhale, forward bend. So let's come all the way down. Drop the head down. Shake out the head. Inhale, lengthen the arms up. Let's come back to our chair, just basic chair. Inhale, lengthen the arms up. Sweep your feet together. So feet come close again. We'll take our forward bend here. Hug the legs into each other. Drop the head again. Inhale, lengthen the arms up. Sit into chair and go right into balanced chair. So heels will lift. Let's hold 1 more breath here. Lower the heels. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take your feet apart again. Forward bend. Exhale the breath. Inhale, lengthen up. Basic chair. So just a nice, easy chair position. If you look down towards your knees, make sure you can still see your big toe. Inhale, lengthen up. One more time. Feet come together, forward bend. Exhale the breath. Inhale, lengthen up. We'll take that chair one more time. If you like, take it for your balanced chair. Now here's your extra challenge. With the heels still elevated, straighten the legs, hug the legs towards each other, lift the crown, lift the fingertips. We've got one more breath. We're up on those tippy toes and release. And if you need to, go ahead and shake it out. You can circle out your ankle. Our ankles are going to do a lot of work today with our balance, so be mindful of how they feel. All right, let's take a really wide position. We're going to start our moon flow, and we're going to build into it and then connect it. So toes are turning out. We'll take that little bit of a squat. You can decide to make this the depth when we're exhaling, or you can scoop the hands to the earth, whichever one you prefer. Let's inhale, come on up to 5 pointed stars. So arms and legs are reaching out. Exhale, go into your squat or sweep the hands down. If you are sweeping the hands down, look down to the floor. Move with the breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push the hips back. Getting a further, deeper stretch into our hips. Let's flow 3 more times. The next time that you're squatting, go ahead and come down and hold. Hold this position. Breathe. Feel that active work through your hips. One more deep breath. Okay, let the hands come to the heart center. We're going to turn to our right foot, and we're going to turn the body to face that right foot coming into warrior one. Now you can decide how deep of a lunge that you like. You can have a little bend to the knee, or you can take that lunge really deep to get that stretch to that left hip. We're going to turn and face the left side, taking that warrior one. So turn from the hip to the heel, get that right heel flat, bend the left knee. Inhale, holding warrior one now on this side. One last breath. Let's come back to that wide squat position. Arms out, squat down. Let's start our flow again. Exhale, sink. Inhale, 5 pointed star. We'll take 5 flowing breaths again. Two more flows. We'll pause in that squat position. Pull the arms down. Give a little further squeeze to the shoulder blades. If you can, sink a little deeper. Let the hands come to the hips. We're going to turn to the right leg again, like we're coming into warrior one. Start with that little bend to the right knee. Make sure that your left heel is anchored. Inhale, go ahead and straighten that right leg now. Come halfway out into pyramid. Hands can stay to the hips, or we can take airplane arms. Airplane arms allow for a further, stronger back. One more breath as we hold our active pyramid. We're going to go right into warrior one. Bend that right knee, reach the arms up. Let the hands come back to the hips. Let's turn and face the left side. So turn on the heel or the ball of the foot. Get that right heel nice and flat. Make sure you're squared to that edge of the mat if you're using the mat. Straighten the left leg. Exhale, halfway down into pyramid. Hands to the hips again, or taking airplane arms. If there's any tension into the neck, tuck the chin, look further down to the mat or the floor. 2 more breaths. Move back into your warrior one. Bend the left knee, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come back to your squat position. Last little flow. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Let's flow these last 5. See if you can sink a little deeper. One more. And now as we come to that squat, bring the hands to the heart space. Sink as low as you can. Even feel as if you can get your hips maybe to about the height of the knees. If you can go lower than that, that's perfectly fine. Just remember, the further you get into a pose, you gotta be able to get back out of it. One more breath. Push to those heels. Inhale, come on back up to 5-pointed star. Let your hands come to your hips. Let's look towards our feet. We're gonna turn just the left foot in a little bit and turn your right foot out. So it looks like your feet are making the shape of an L. We're gonna take our triangle towards the right leg. Inhale, arms come out. Exhale, float that right hand down. If you're using your chair or your stool, you can place that hand right here. Lift the gaze up, hold for 3 breaths. Triangle pose. We'll go into our warrior 2 as we come out. So bend that right knee, lift the shoulders up, let them stack over the hips, bring the gaze down and past the right arm. Let the hands come to the hips, straighten the right leg, turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out. We're gonna take our triangle here. Inhale, arms open wide again. Left hand flowing down the left leg or moving that chair around to use it. Gaze can go up. Gaze can go straight forward. But notice how much space you have here in the chest. There's a lot of breathable space here. We'll take that transition to warrior 2. Bend the left knee. Feel how that right glute helps to get you there. Gaze is down past the left hand. We're going to take our flow to the right side and we're going to take our pyramid again. Let's take the arms up. As you straighten the left leg, turn the left toe in, turn the right foot out, turn the left foot and hip in one more time. Hands can come back to the hips, so if you like that core option, you can be here. Or as we forward bend, we can walk the hands down the right leg, coming into a deeper stretch. Feel free to drop the head or at least tuck the chin, take that tension out of the neck. Now, if you cannot see where we're going to go next, we're going to take a little balance here. Feel free to come out of the pose, see what it looks like, see if you want to use a prop. Right now, I'm going to use my block. I'm going to bend my right knee a little bit, and I'm just going to take a little half balance here, just kicking that left leg up. Just hold for a breath. We'll come back to our warrior 1 position. Bend the right knee, place the left foot down. Inhale, send the arms up to the sky. Let's turn out, come center, hands to the hips. So my toes are pointing straight forward, just taking a little pause, seeing where I just come from. I'm gonna turn the left foot out. I'm going to turn the right hip and the foot in one more time so that I'm squared up. I'm going to start with that deeper pyramid if you like. Exhale, folding down the left leg. You decide how low you'd like to go. Let the head complete that motion. Breathe. Now, if you think you need that prop again, you can take the time to gather it and place it in front of your left foot. Take a little bend to that left knee. When ready, float that right leg up. Just a little pause here, testing our one-legged balance. Come back to warrior 1. Bend the left knee, place the right foot down. Left knee stays bent as you lift the arms up. Exhale, let the hands come down, Turn the left toe forward. Let's come back to mountain pose. So feet will come together for a moment. Just take a basic mountain pose. Now, the next transition, I'm going to show first, then we're going to combine everything together. So when we practice a pose like half moon or that one-legged balance with the leg lifted, sometimes transitioning into a deep squat is doable for some people. For others, we need to have a little extra step. So if you're in your half moon, let's say we're here, you can even be here, you have the option one, to go right into your prayer squat. For some of you, that's just not how the hip of the right wants to move. So I'm going to show you the modification. We'll eventually come to this position after our half moon. So if we're in our half moon, we can drop into a low lunge, then come right into our squat, okay? So let's go ahead and try that. Let's get ourselves set up like we would for pyramid. Turn to face your right foot. Left foot and right foot are kind of like railroad tracks. They're lining up side by side. We'll take pyramid pose for 2 breaths. So exhale, walk the hands down. If you need that prop, go ahead and grab it. Take your half moon, lifting that left leg up. Hold for 2 more breaths. If you want to take that left hand to the sky for that full Ardha Chandrasana, feel free to do so. On your next exhale, we're going to take that deep prayer squat. Find the transition that feels easiest for you. Hold 2 more breaths. Now, many of you might have had a prop on that right side, so let's just take an easy transition. Step your left foot forward, step your right foot back. It should be right there for you. We'll take our pyramid again for a couple breaths. When ready, take that half moon pose, right foot kicks up. If you like, right hand also comes into the picture. One more breath here. Transition into your prayer squat. And inhale, come on out and shake it out. Okay, grab some water if you need it. I'm going to move my stool close to my mat because I know I need it for the fuller flow. It's going to help me today. Okay, so we're going to combine kind of everything. You can continue facing me, or if you're using a mat, you want to use the length of the mat, that's fine. So we come back to mountain pose. Feet together apart. Let's take the arms upward. We'll take our chair pose with or without the balance, your choice. Heels can come up or heels can stay flat. You've got 3 more breaths. Lower the heels, inhale, straighten the arms up. We'll lift the heels here in our mountain pose. 3 breaths. Notice how long the spine is. Lower the heels, back to mountain pose. Step out wide, nice wide stance. 5 flowing breaths from 5 pointed star to our deep sunflower squat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lengthen. Flow down. Last couple breaths. Your hips should be pretty warmed up by now. Hold that squat, either arms out wide for sun pose or bring hands back to the heart center. Your choice of how deep you'd like to go. Now, because our prop is hopefully to our right side of us, that's the direction we're going to start with. Straighten the legs. Warrior 1, turn to the right foot, bend that right knee, lift the arms up. Warrior 1, 3 breaths. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pyramid pose, 3 breaths. Either take airplane arms, hands to your chair or a yoga block, or hands all the way down to the floor. If you are using a chair, make sure it doesn't slide away from you. Okay, we're gonna take our first half move. So a little bend to that right knee. When ready, kick that left leg up, straighten the right leg. Find the position of your half moon that feels most open for you today. The stool is perfect, it's the perfect height. One more breath, we're gonna transition to that deep squat. So again, you can either sit right into that squat, or you can take yourself down, take that low lunge position, then turn the body there. 3 breaths. Let's go back to our 5-pointed star. Inhale, open. Exhale, sink. Inhale, open, or sweep the hands there. Last 3 breaths. Come back to 5-pointed star, but walk your feet together. So the arms are still reaching out wide. Feet come closer together. Right leg will be our base leg again as we come into tree pose. Arms reaching up. Float the left knee up in front of you. Feel free to stay here or to take the traditional tree. Push the knee away from you. Left foot resting somewhere above or below the right knee. Two more breaths. If your shoulders need a break, you can take those cactus arms or just completely take the arms down. One more breath. Come back to mountain pose. Interlock the arms overhead. Turn your palms to face up. If you're able to, walk your feet all the way together. Lift both heels up. Standing, balancing mountain pose. Last 2 breaths. And exhale, release. So if you think you need to change where that prop is, you can move it over to the left side of your mat. We'll take our wide squat again. 5 flows, 5-pointed star, back to the squat. So this movement right here is replacing the activity of our traditional sun salutation. It's keeping you warm. It's moving the body. Hold your squat, either sun pose or hands to heart space. Sink a little deeper. Really get that nice inner thigh stretch. So the left side is going to be our lead side. We'll take our warrior 1, turn to face the left leg, left knee bent, arms overhead, 3 breaths. Make sure that your right foot isn't too far back as we go into pyramid. If you need to adjust it up. Exhale into pyramid, either airplane arms, hands to the stool or the chair, or everything sinking completely down. Go ahead and relax the eyes, relax the facial muscles. One more deep breath. We're getting ready for our half moon here. When ready, bend the left knee, float that right leg up. Find where that left arm and that right arm needs to be so that you have that full balance. Make sure that you are lifting that top leg up high enough. We really want to feel those gluteal muscles working here. One more breath. We're going to take that transition back to that deep squat. So again, you can transition right into it, or you can take the low lunge to come here. Let's think a little deeper. Inhale, come back to 5-pointed star, walk the feet together. Left leg will be our base as we come into tree pose, sweep the arms up, right knee elevates. Float the hip to where you're feeling the best stability. the most connection to the body and to the breath. Two more breaths. And exhale, come back to mountain pose. If you need to shake it out, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna do two other balancing poses. One is gonna be for the back of the hip, the other is gonna be for the front of the hip. Let's actually start with the back of the hip because we did a lot of lunging, a lot of squat. We wanna stretch those stabilizers now. You can hold on to the wall and do this. You can put your arms on a chair or you can forego it. So the feet can be just slightly apart. Hands aren't doing anything. They can stay here, come to the heart space. Let's take a little tiny squat. Now when we come to our standing balanced pigeon, make sure that your hips stay even versus one hip dropping to the side. The left leg will be our base leg again. We're gonna cross the right ankle to rest on top of the thigh and then turn that hip open like you're trying to point the right knee down to the floor. Sit deeper into the squat or reach the hands down to the floor or find a halfway point. If you are holding onto the wall, it's less intense of a balance, but it really allows you to take a nice deep stretch into the right hip. Got a couple more breaths here. We're gonna hold this one a little longer. Even though you might be feeling some fluctuations in the left leg, you're still balancing. Remember, balance is not stillness. It's about constantly adapting to our experience. Inhale, come on up, come back to mountain pose, take a breath. Exhale, come back to that half squat. The right leg will be our base leg. Left ankle comes up to rest. Try to keep it above the knee. Exhale, push the hips back. If there's any tension into the neck, look a little further down to the floor. If you want that deeper hip stretch, reach your hands past that left ankle as low as you can go, or walking the hands down the wall. Breathe, feel that still point. Feeling so flexible in our hips today. One last breath. And slowly coming back, mountain pose. If you need to, shake it out. You can shake the hips a little bit. You can circle out the ankles or just shake the legs out. Okay, dancer's pose. I'm going to let my left leg be the base leg. So I'm going to turn so that my right side is facing you. And again, if you're working with the wall, your left hand can touch the wall right now. The right leg is going to be the leg that we're bending. And the leg can stay here like we're pushing the leg back. Or we can take our right hand and grab hold of the foot. From here, we don't have to change anything unless we want more of a back bend. If you want more of a back bend, push the right foot into the right hand as you push or reach the left hand forward. 5 breaths, holding dancer's pose. Notice that opening stretch to the right shoulder as well if you are reaching the arm back or behind you. 2 more breaths. Hold your focus. Breathe. And exhale, release. Coming back to mountain pose. I'm gonna let that right leg be the base. Left knee will bend. If you're using the wall, place the right hand to the wall. When ready, exhale. Find the depth of the stretch and the balance that suits you today. Working to hold that fine line between strength and flexibility. 2 more breaths. And exhale, release, making our way back to mountain pose. All right, so you've finished the standing series. We are going to take ourselves down to seated. If you need a pillow or a blanket to sit elevated on to help, we're going to continue to stretch our hips, and then we'll do some, just a couple poses lying on the back before Shavasana. So let's start actually in butterfly. When we sit down, let the feet come towards you. Let the feet come together and just find a position that feels good for the inside aspect of your hips. We can be here, hands behind us, just helping us have that tall posture again. You're still getting a nice stretch here. Or we can forward bend to walk the hands forward. This is also where that kitchen chair can be used. You can place your hands on it. You can stack forearm over forearm and rest your head on that. It feels very different than just holding the head upright. We're going to hold for 5 to 6 breaths. Let each exhale encourage the body to sink, to soften. See, even here, if you can relax the shoulders a little bit more. One more deep breath. As we inhale, guide the body back up. We're going to come to Sukhasana Cross-Legged. Cross your right foot in front of your left. Let the right hand come behind you. Keep it pretty close. Take the left arm across, and we'll take that first twist, looking just slightly to the right side of the room, or turning the gaze to completely over the right shoulder. Each exhale, let your core and let the breath guide you further into the twist. Last 2 breaths. And we're not going to change anything with that left hand, so it's going to stay resting to the right knee. Lean a little bit towards your left leg. Sweep that right arm up and over until you feel a comfortable stretch down into the right hip. Again, if you have that kitchen chair, you can let your hand rest on top of it. Inhale, float the arms up. The left leg will stay bent. We're going to send that right leg out in front of us, coming to head to knee pose. Hands will walk down the right leg. Lower the head down as you find that comfortable depth of the stretch. Just hold for 3 breaths on this side. Inhale, walk the hands up. We'll come back to our butterfly. Right foot comes to greet the left. Hands can walk forward again. Hands can stay supported behind if you like that taller variation. Notice where your attention is drawn to right now. For me, my right hip feels very different than my left hip right now, just with the little bit that we did in that twist and so on. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, walk the hands back in. We come back to that cross-legged position, left ankle is crossed in front of the right. Left hand comes close behind you, keep it right up against your hip. Right arm comes around to the left knee, exhale, move into the twist. And so here again, notice if you can twist equally. Sometimes one side you can twist deeper. Try to avoid forcing it with muscling your arms to get you into the twist. Let the breath take you there. One more deep breath. Keep the right hand where it's at. We're gonna lean to that right thigh, reach that left arm up and over, just taking a little lateral stretch here. Notice that connection all the way down to the left hip, left side of your rib and torso. And exhale, release. We're gonna send just that left leg out. Let your right foot rest to the inside of the left leg. We take head to knee pose, or as close as we can get that head to the knee. Notice the sound of your breath. If it's just you practicing by yourself, let your mind focus in on that sound. As we inhale, walk the hands up. We're going to change our hip position to come out to a straddle. You decide how wide of a straddle you would like to feel today. If you cannot sit up straight, you can bring your back against the wall. And keep in mind that as we turn our body a little bit to the side, you might notice that the hip of one side might come up a little bit. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to turn and face our right foot, right hand coming behind you, and then turn and face your left foot. Okay, let's do that again. See how deep you can twist to the right, and then how deep you can twist to the left. I would like for you to start on the side that you can twist less to. So for me, it's turning to face my left foot. If yours is the right foot, then turn and face the right foot. From here, we're going to walk the hands down that leg and just let your head drop down. Notice how the thigh and the belly might be compressing upon one another. Each time that you exhale, soften the belly. Inhale, walk the body up. We'll turn and face the other side. Now remember, this is a side that you are more flexible already, so maybe don't go as deep into the twist or into the forward bend. Just a couple more breaths here. And inhale, walk the body back up. We're going to come to a sideline position. Doesn't matter which side you start on, we will be working both sides. When you lie on your side, let your bottom arm support your head. Try to have your legs stacked on top of each other, and as much as you can, the legs straight. This is all going to be about core, so we're still activating a little bit into the abdominals. Your top arm can stay resting in front of you. If you want to challenge your core, reach that arm up and try to avoid rolling forward or rolling back. If you want a little bit more core work, lift your feet up off of the floor. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. If your feet were elevated, lower them down. Take your top leg into that quad stretch again. So top hand comes behind and just hold that stretch. So we can call this a lazy man's dancer's pose if you like. Okay, let's go ahead and release. Let's come over to the other side. So these activities work our obliques, they work our hip stabilizers again. They also help to relax and just give a little pause for the bottom side. So arm supports the head, legs are straight as they can be. If this is enough challenge for you, stay here. Second option, we reach that arm up. Third option, we lift the feet up. You're holding the inner thighs together. Hold and breathe. Keep pulling that navel center in. 2 more breaths. If the feet were elevated, lower them down. Bend that top leg again. Hand comes behind. Gentle quad stretch. Hold for 3. 1 more breath. And release. And let's take the easiest transition. We're going to roll right onto our back. Bend your knees, let your feet come flat. Take your feet just a little wider apart. Arms can go wherever you like. And we'll take that little windshield wiper move. So just rocking the hips in and out. Just a little release for the lowest portion of the back and the hips as well. Okay, walk your feet a little closer together. Send both legs up to the ceiling and just circle out the ankles. So let's give a big thank you to our feet and to our ankles. Thank you, feet and ankles. You've helped support me in my standing balance vinyasa today. One more time, circle, circle, circle. Go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. And so at this point, feel free to get yourself ready for whatever kind of Shavasana you would like to take today. You can take your traditional Shavasana, arms and legs on the floor. You can take your legs up against the wall for those of you that would like a little bit more low back stretch or an easy hamstring stretch. You don't have to lie on your back. You can lie belly down. You could come back to a sideline position, whichever you prefer. Feel free to take your pillows and your blankets. That may also help to give you a little bit more comfort. So we'll give you a couple minutes to get yourself situated there. And then once you've begun to settle, just draw your awareness back to the body as a whole. Let your mind even wander and scan through. Just take a simple mental note of all those areas within the body that have asked for your attention right now. Begin to envision the breath surrounding those muscles, that limb, that organ, that joint space or that joint capsule. And then from those points, or that one point of focus, envision the breath expanding outward, connecting multiple parts of your body. Even give yourself a moment to think about an area of your body that you've never really thought about. Maybe it's your right earlobe. And then take that breath and that mental awareness even further, connecting deep through the body, all the way down to the veins, the arteries, all the cells in the body. Now have that communication, that connection that makes us feel a little bit more complete, even if it's just for this brief moment of time. We feel whole. We feel connected. And we feel very much alive, but at peace. Remember that where your mind goes, the body's sensitivity will follow that. So the key to being physically well is also controlling what we choose our focus to be on each and every day, every hour, every minute, every moment. Remember that you are your best caretaker. Allow this self-care to be a daily practice, and it can look like a yoga practice. It can look like any other exercise class that you are taking. Just keep that self-awareness, that self-care, that self-love as part of your practice each and every day. And just know that as I'm practicing that, and as you are practicing that, we are connected. Just finding yourself taking a few more deep, long belly breaths. Give a big thank you to everything that your body and your breath was able to accomplish today. And only when you feel ready, take the time to gently ease yourself out of your last pose. You can remain side lying or come to a seated position. And if you like joining the hands to the heart space, go ahead and close the eyes and just feel that connection. May all of you be well, may all of you be healthy, and may all of you be happy today. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.